We want to offer transformation. So you don't want to sell 12 packs or a drop-in session or anything like this, because immediately I'm telling you, your value is lower in the customer's mind. When someone's paying these prices, they expect to be treated like royalty. So make sure that you're actually doing that. Premium is not just about being fancy. It's about clarity, confidence, and care. That's really what it's signaling.
This is the Reinforce Your Gym podcast with your host, Dustin Vogel. This show is about arming gym owners with the tools, strategies, and lessons they need to take their business to the next level. That way, they can make a greater impact in their community. Now, let's get to work and reinforce your gym.
Welcome in, gym owners. This week's episode, we are diving into the topic of making your gym a premium brand. All right. I know probably every gym owner wants to work with high net worth individuals that's going to happily pay their rate every single month, is going to refer, is going to really enjoy the amazing experience that you provide. But this is not something that we can just wish for and it's going to happen to our gym. We have to take steps that is going to send signals out to the community that we are a premium offering and a premium brand, and you cannot BS it. If anything, reputation is going to get around, right? If you get in someone who wants a premium experience and they come in and it's not premium, they're going to go tell all their high net worth individual friends, stay away from that place. It's just a smokescreen and they're not really good at what they do. They don't really have a premium gym. In fact, it's a little kind of run down. So I'm going to help you build out the premium gym that you want and make sure that it attracts the ideal clients that you want as well, right? So I'm speaking to my personal training minded gym owners that have one-on-one gym, semi-private, small group, however you frame it. This talk is going to be for you, this episode. If you're in a open gym membership, a little bit more difficult, or large group training, but I am going to leave you with some things that can help you to even beat people inside of that micro niche, right? Because again, we're in the niche of fitness, but then there's micro niches of either your service delivery or the type of client you want to help with or the results you help people achieve, right? So let's dive into it. I got 9 things to cover. And so these are good things to write down and then decide on how you're going to improve them in your business if you don't feel like it's up to par, or talk about it more openly with your team, all right? And as every good talk, it starts with mindset. So the mindset shift that needs to come is that, number one, we are a premium brand, right? Do you even identify as that? Does your team identify as it? Do you guys use the right language, right, to identify yourself as a premium gym? So the big thing to get away from is selling workouts, right? People that want a premium experience want just that. They want an experience. They want to feel a certain way when they come in. They want to feel status when they tell their friends that they train there. And most importantly, they want results, right? So the things that have to change in your mind and your team's mind is making it have exclusivity, right? That there is truly a limited amount of people. And I bet if you sat down and did the math, there is a specific amount of number of people you can serve when you are completely at capacity and full, and you'll need to think of opening an additional location. So what is that? I think it's good for you and your team's mindset to know, what is that number? When do we cap out, right? That gives you the exclusivity mindset. Status, right? That you have this very premium branding and offering that makes people want to brag that they work with you, right? We say these brand names, right? Like I don't have a car, I have a Lamborghini. I don't have a purse, I have a purse from Gucci, right? And so it's like, just saying the name of the brand immediately gives you status. And so you want to essentially build that inside of a local brick and mortar gym, right? And then the final part is certainty of results, that I'm absolutely certain if I train with you, no question, I will get results, right? Nobody questions if they buy a Rolls Royce that they will have an amazing customer experience. There's no question if I stay at a Ritz-Carlton. So that level of certainty with your brand, that's what we're looking for, right? So this is a mindset shift, guys. This isn't just painting the walls black and getting a fancy logo. Like, we have to be acting a certain way. And if you went to one of these high-end businesses, you would expect the staff to be acting a certain way, right? And so that level of professionalism, that bar gets raised way higher, right? Because the expectations of the customer you're working with has a high bar, right? So they're not going to be messing around with people that are starting sessions late or have holes in their polo shirts or just smells nasty. Like these are things that, again, it begins with a mindset and a standard. So, next, we're going to talk about clarifying your micro niche clients, right? So we can tend to go a little too wide. We can say, I'll work with anybody. If they're willing to be coached by me, I'll work with anybody. I would challenge you to get it down into a micro niche, a niche within a niche. So specifically, like if you say we work with people over 40, well, make different client avatars. Like maybe there's a retiree avatar who is 60, 65 plus. Maybe there is a busy working professional avatar. Maybe there's a business owner avatar. And all three of those, you can rotate different types of offers and ads and positioning towards. And you can even set up your ads to target each of those avatars directly, right? So that it calls them out more. And when people really feel understood, they're drawn to work with you versus trying to be good at blanket marketing everybody, right? And then what is it that you want to be known for? Because the micro niche, it's the pairing of who the person is and then what they want, and then you being the only choice for that. So, like, then what do you want to be micro niched at doing, right? You can't do everything. I'm sure it'd be great to be good at everything, but let's be honest, we cannot be world class at sports performance and fat loss and helping somebody train for high rocks and helping somebody be good at powerlifting, right? We have to really say, this is what we're good at. When you want to get this result, come to me if you are this person. And those two become your niche, right? Your avatar. So then you can tailor your marketing, and that's what we're going to get into next. All right. So, first, to have that mindset shift with yourself and your team, get really clear on your micro niche client. Number three, now we're going to build off of that into your offer, right? We do not want to sell sessions and workouts. We want to sell outcomes, right? That people will achieve something in a specific amount of time. So, it could be we're going to help you drop one size in 6 weeks for this offer, but you can even build offer promises inside of your memberships that, hey, this is our year of change package. In 12 months, we will help you achieve X. What is that? What do you do? Right. And so essentially, you can put in all the little bullet points, this is what we'll do for your training, your nutrition, your accountability, your recovery. But at the end of the day, no one really cares about all that, the path to getting there. They care about the outcome, right? And then we always hear about that. Don't sell the travel, sell the vacation. So this is something where you want to definitely take some time and build out an offer. In fact, the title of the offer can even attract the right niche and create you having that premium branding in the area. So we don't want to offer a la carte. We want to offer transformation. So you don't want to sell 12 packs or a drop-in session or anything like this, because immediately I'm telling you, your value is lower in the customer's mind. If I could show up and just get something on a whim, I do not value that as something where I have to have a reservation with a specialist. And so that is what we want you to do when you create your offer. So come up with what you want that to look like. Obviously, I have an agency that can help you with this stuff. We love helping owners build out the right offer. And, it needs to be customized to what you want to do. Now, the next part is a little bit more in the build out, right, phase. And this is the customer experience, from the equipment and the design of the gym to even how the clients are communicated with. This all comes under branding, right? And so we want to make sure your space feels premium. If I walk in, does it feel like you went cheap on build out? Does it feel like you maybe did all the construction yourself, and it looks just kind of taped together? It doesn't look like it was done by a professional. So this is everything from your color scheme to the fixtures in your gym, the bathrooms, the flooring, the lighting, the paint, everything. You can't say you're a premium gym and then I walk in and it smells really weird and there's wires hanging everywhere and just things are all cluttered. I would never get that at any premium business, whether it was a hotel, car buying experience, any kind of luxury experience that I'm going to go to, a jewelry store. There's certain ways that they design things to look very simplistic and high end. Does your gym do that? If not, it might even be worth consulting with an interior designer, which I know sounds crazy. It's like, hey, I do that for a house. What do you mean for a gym? But if you really want your gym to stand out, and this is not your specialty, which I actually believe most gym owners, this is not your greatest skill set. You might be really good at picking the right equipment. You might be really good at programming and mentoring coaches. Maybe you just need to admit it. You know what? I don't have a great eye for design and making this place look aesthetically pleasing. So I'm going to hire an interior designer. Well worth it, guys. I would actually say this is well worth it. Putting some money in to get that return on really putting out a brand that you're proud of, not just the logo. A lot of times we'll happily drop on a logo on a website, but then it's like, guys, the gym they're coming to 3, 4, 5 days a week, make this place amazing, right? Think of it as the Ritz-Carlton of gyms. That's how you want to be thinking about it. And every detail matters, from the moment they walk in to their workout experience to how they're being communicated with off the floor. It all has to scream premium. Otherwise, people will think you're a phony and you're just putting it on your website, the word premium, but you're not actually delivering it. We don't want that. So think about that. Even down to the smell. You go to a really nice hotel. I've even been to gyms where they had like time release air fragrances and it made the gym smell amazing. And again, what do people think of smell wise when they think of gyms? Stinky, musty, sweaty. Now, what if people thought like, oh man, I love the smell they use there. There's many products you guys can find that you can have time release and not make it overbearing, but something that is pleasant, right? And that's something to think about. And then music, right? Am I walking in and this is like crazy, inappropriate music for a premium offering, right? Like, think about that. So everything, guys, like take some time. If you really want this to be done right, think through everything. Hey, gym owners, let's face it, you probably don't love digital marketing. You probably don't want to go into Facebook and load the ad up and think of ad copy and creatives and optimize it daily. Well, hand that over to me and my team, because we're geeks about marketing and we want to flood your gym with new members so you can change their life. Let us do what we do best. All right, go to gymreinforcements.com, book a call. Don't bring the credit card. It's not a hard pitch. It's just a conversation to see if we're a good fit. Talk soon. The bathrooms, right? The bathrooms got to be definitely premium. Don't go cheap there, because that is something people judge you on. Okay. Now let's go on. Number 5, pricing and positioning. I laughed the other day when someone said we offer premium coaching experience. It's only $99 a month. Guys, nobody that has money is going to think a $99 product is good. We just don't, right? We will not. Like, we have to think like, okay, at that price point, you guys are going to deliver the goods. That's what has to be going through our mind. If it's too low, I'm telling you, some people with money will raise their nose. They want to be caught dead in your gym because of your price point. It's not a place. Remember back when I said they want to be proud to tell their peers and brag about it? Well, are they going to really brag on a $99 membership? No, right? So we got to think about, what do they want? So this is where pricing and positioning come in. So I like to talk about something we call luxury language. If you go to websites, go look at Rolex, go look at Rolls Royce, go look at anything that is a premium type of service or product, and just study the words on their website, guys. Talk to ChatGPT, right? There's so many ways to get your hands on these words, but here's some that I would say are good for a premium gym to use. Not just coaches, elite coaches. Not just a beautiful facility, an immaculate facility, surgically clean, white glove service, elevated training experience, train alongside high achievers or a community of high achievers. Now, if I'm a wealthy CEO and I see these words, I will be drawn in. That is luxury language. And again, it is a different language. And here's what you kind of have to battle. If this is not language you would say, or this is not language you would go and buy, well, now you're shopping with your own wallet. This is not about what you want to buy or what you go and shop for. You want to ask, where can I get these ideal customers and what do they look for, right? And I will make sure that my premium gym screams these words so I can attract them. But you want to really frame it in all ways of communication. So your website, what pictures does it show a really professionally dressed trainer training a client in what looks like a high-end gym? Because our mind really does well with pictures. So the more you can feed me pictures of what your place looks like, and then the words on your website all paint this mental visual picture in my mind, then I can really start to see it. And then I want it, right? Like, oh man, I want that experience when I go to the gym. And so this is why you can charge more and justify it, because there are pieces of value you're offering that other gyms are just frankly not going to do. This could be higher attention levels. That's why I said this really works for one-on-one and semi-private and small group. Higher success rates, proven results. Like, these are all things that you are promising and bringing to the table. And there's a post that I put up called the Pay Attention Pyramid. And just through my years of being in the industry, I realized that we've heard when you pay attention. Well, I think it goes a step further. the more you pay attention. So you can justifiably say, hey, someone with a $10 gym membership, they're paying. Why are they not paying attention? Well, when you pay more and you had a one-on-one personal trainer that charges you $150 a session, what do you know? The person's on time and they dial in their nutrition and they train really, really hard because they are paying enough that it stings and they have to take it serious. So that's another thing you're doing by premium positioning and pricing accordingly is you're forcing your client to take you more serious and their program more serious. And it might not even be that different from a $99 gym, but because of the price point, the person just acts different, which is what we're actually wanting, which is what we're chasing as gym owners and coaches, right? So this anchors you as the premium place in town when you look at your pricing, and it should also be in your packages and what you charge. So like maybe even call one tier your lowest tier, the gold tier, and that might be small group where you do 1-on-6, 1-on-10, and that's, the coach to client ratio. But then after gold, there's VIP, and that might be semi-private, and that's 1-on-3, 1-on-4, and then diamond could be one-on-one personal training. So even in the package names, make sure it has luxury language on your website, and then your team has to be speaking it. That's the most important, right? We all have to be doing this. One thing I love about the Ritz-Carlton is that they don't, say, hey, we're a team here running a hotel. They say we're ladies and gentlemen serving ladies and gentlemen, right? And that is their luxury language. That's a mindset to have. So we're going to move on to number 6. This is social proof and authority. Guys, premium brands, they show receipts in different ways, right? So they don't really flex like other brands. They make it look more like a lifestyle, right? And so this is something to think about, that premium brands associate with other premium brands. And so I saw a Pilates studio do this really well on one of their ads. They had a bunch of ladies showing up and meeting together at the front door, and they're all wearing, like Pilates outfits, like Lululemon looking outfits. Then they go in and they're all holding the door open and they're holding a Stanley Cup. And then they all set their coach handbags down in the cubbies and they went in for their class. Now, what were they doing in those first 5 to 10 seconds of that video? They were associating their Pilates studios with people who like high-end brands. In a matter of seconds, they showed all these high-end brands and they were zooming in on it. They really wanted you to see what they're holding and what they're wearing, because they're saying if you are in this type of world, you like these things, then you'll probably like this too. And that's word association. So essentially, in addition to your testimonials, you want to have word association to create authority, right? Because people will take you more serious when you have this word association with other brands. So you want to, number one, have a really high-end looking logo that when people are wearing it around town, people are wondering what it is. And again, if they're a high net worth individual, they want to be like them. And so they want to wear gear like them. That's why the whole famous phrase from Jordan's shoes, Michael Jordan, it was "be like Mike," because people are like, oh, if I wear these shoes, I get to be like him. Well, you can have a bunch of high net worth individuals being your billboards around town because they wear your shirt. But first of all, it's got to be high end gear. Don't get the cheap stuff. Get really nice high end gear that you're going to spend a little bit more on creating. People are going to spend a little bit more on buying, and it's going to send out the right signals when they wear it around town. So that's all social proof and authority. Yes, your testimonials, that's a given. Your client wins. It is creating that brand association. It's wearing high-end gear. Last thing, it's making yourself 5 Mile famous. So you need to be on all the local podcasts. You need to be at all the local events. And you need to position yourself as someone that's involved in your community while also being an expert at what you do, right? And you want to go to places where high net worth individuals are going, find out where they are and get in with that crowd, right? And so that way you can attract them toward your gym. We're moving on to number 7, marketing like a premium brand. So that kind of dovetails off what I said earlier with that Pilates studio. Don't just think about like, this is our program, this is what we're offering. Think about everything that's within visual just range of that photo or that video. What other brands am I seeing? What else am I seeing besides you, the person talking? And so this is not a time to be using Canva templates from 2016. You want to invest in good branding, right? And so like, yes, the logo, the website, the whole luxury language, the brand template as they call it, like the right font, the right color scheme, it all tying together. Like that's just par for the course to have a premium brand. And again, another thing to look at is hiring a brand expert to say like, hey, this is not my expertise. What color should we use? What font should we use? Help me with the logo. And guys, yes, I know this is money to invest, but if you really want this big payoff, this is just par for the course. This is very, very difficult for you to do on your own, right? So we also want to dive into things like content and making sure your content looks high end, and you either hire a professional videographer or someone on your team makes it really look high quality, but you're recording in high quality video format, right? You're not making things look janky, and you're not also saying constantly buy my trial. A lot of premium brands, they just tell stories. That's it. They just show you a story of a client. They tell you a story of what's going on, and they just know naturally it's going to make people want to reach out and say, hey, how can I get started? What are your options? And that all comes from creating the right brand. So behind the scenes stuff works really well. Like this is what we're working on, day in the life of, lifestyle content, client success stories. These are all great things to put on your marketing. All right. And then again, if you do run ads that call it an offer, which you totally can, there has to be exclusivity. You got to say, we can only take on 3 more VIP clients into our premium coaching program. And it might even be application based, like, hey, to see if you're a good fit, fill out this application. And so that way they know we're shopping this both ways. You're not just shopping us, we're shopping you, making sure you're the right fit. All right. So moving on. Retention, number 8. Of course, all gyms want strong retention, but like these gyms, you're going to be having clients for years, right? Like they don't want to just move on because let's be honest, there's not a lot of luxury choices in most cities. So like you want to be a category of one, and these are not gym hoppers. These are people, when you land you landed a big whale. It's going to stay with you for a while, and they're going to probably bring you a lot of referrals. But in terms of retaining them, we have to actually deliver white glove service. So that means we need to give them more attention, and we need to make sure we're treating them like the VIPs that they are. So are you doing goal reviews or results analysis, sitting down with them at least on a quarterly basis, if not monthly, and checking in on how things are going and making adjustments along the way, right? And then surprise gifts, right? So like could be a birthday gift. You find out they're having a baby, you're going to get them a personalized gift. Handwritten cards are definitely an easy one. These are all things that, man, when someone's paying these prices, they expect to be treated like royalty. So make sure that you're actually doing that. And then the final part is make sure that they're also seeing the value in your community by showing them and introducing them the other high net worth people, right? And so you can have them meet and have your own event, or you can coordinate with somebody that might be better at that. If that's not your strength, you're like, hey, I'm not good at organizing events and doing that type of thing. Cool. All your members, we're going to go to this outside event here and get you guys going in a networking type of environment. But that is something that's going to happen, and you're going to need to have a very good white glove service going on to keep these people. All right. And then finally, number 9, guys, sum up your premium brand in 5 words. Okay. This is a great lesson I got from Alex Hormozy. Talked about your brand is a bouquet of roses. And so like we think of one rose on its own, not as powerful as a bouquet of roses, right? And so what your bouquet is of your brand is, think of each rose as a word. What is your 5 words that make up your bouquet, right? And so if you take any business, you can probably think of 5 words, right? So let's take Amazon, speed, because they got the 2-day delivery and the 1-click, checkout. So speed, convenience. I don't got to go to the store. Everything's going to be shipped to me. Simplicity, like their website's really easy to find things, right? So I can keep going, but there's 5 words that I'm choosing. Prime, like they own that word in my mind. Like I don't have another business that I think of when I think of the word prime. These are words that they want to own. It's not just be associated with, like own it in the customer's brain. That if somebody says this word, immediately you think of that business. That's true branding, right? And so there's words that if I said, you might think of a brand, right? Soda, whatever company comes to your mind, they own that word association with you. So the beauty is you get to choose your 5 words. No one is forcing 5 words on you. You get to pick them. You get to choose what they're going to be. And it all comes from you carefully crafting every client experience, from their interaction with their website to being reached out by you to the in the gym experience. people will associate words. What words do you want them to think of, right? And so, yes, the gym owner and the coaches are also part of the brand, but there's way more. And so we want to make sure that it's going to come through in your build out, in your digital assets, like your website, your social media, your team's dress and attire, the smell, the design, everything, right? And then, of course, the culture. Like, how is your team speaking to clients? What kind of language are they using? What kind of language are the clients in the gym using? And so that everything is really vibrating and signaling, okay, people who want premium, higher end things in life, where you're setting, this is where you come. And so this is the final, tip is just sum it all up in 5 words. All right. So guys, as we wrap up here, premium is not just about being fancy. It's about clarity, confidence, and care. All right. That's really what it's signaling. So if that is something you need help with, go ahead and book a call with me. My team, we're happy to help you build out your luxury language on your ads, your offer, and help you move in this direction. But again, on your end, you got to make sure that the build out and the client experience follows through so that they have that premium from start to finish the entire time. All right. Let you guys get out of here. See you next week. Gym owners, I don't want you to have the reputation in town as the gym that doesn't call people back, all right? We know it's critical when someone's finally made a decision to get healthy and fit that we get to them as quickly as possible. This can be solved by plugging in our remote sales reps, okay? It's not AI, it's not a bot, it's a real human that's working on your leads, the new ones that come in from your ads and the old leads in your database. And they're there to qualify the leads, to ask them discovery questions and to make sure they're a good fit. And then their job is to move them forward in your sales process so that you get more members month over month. All right. If you want to learn about our remote sales reps, go ahead and go to gymreinforcements.com, book a call, and we'll tell you more about it. See you then.